So, my name is Matt Howard. I work for a company called Virtru, and I wanted to talk to you today about something called Outbound Zero Trust Security. Um, there's been a lot of talk about zero trust security in the last 5 years of the software and IT industry. Zero trust this, zero trust that. And if you stop and think about it, it's kind of easy to sort of dissect the conversation into two primary parts. One is sort of this idea that zero trust security controls should be put into place to protect the organization from external threats. Zero trust security controls should be put into place to determine who on the outside of the organization is allowed to access systems and information that we possess internally. Zero trust security controls should be put onto all of the mobile devices and endpoints that we use to do our everyday jobs, things like phones and computers. Zero trust security controls should be used to protect the networks that are used to access the information and the systems that we have internal to our company. And all of this sort of zero trust thinking is really primarily perimeter centric. It's like, let's do a good job of building a virtual wall to protect the important systems and information and data that we have inside of our company. And as important as that is, and it is very, very important, it's also critical that we look at the other side of the zero trust coin and think about the data that we inevitably share externally with our business partners, with our customers, with anybody in our digital value stream for that matter. And when that data that we have internal, which oftentimes is super critical to our business, very sensitive data, intellectual property, when we share it externally, how do we continue to maintain zero trust controls over that information once we've shared it externally? That's really the simple idea of outbound zero trust security compared to inbound zero trust security. Very simple. One is inbound, one is outbound. And at Virtru, we're all about outbound zero trust controls. It's simple, it's super affordable, it's a really important way to move the ball forward in a world that's otherwise, honestly, very complicated and very expensive. If you want to think about the difference between inbound zero trust and outbound zero trust, inbound zero trust takes a lot of time, money, and effort to engineer those controls, to put up the virtual perimeter, to protect the organization from external threats. That's not cheap, it's not easy, and it takes time and a lot of investment. If you want to think about the outbound zero trust controls and protecting the information that you share externally, it's surprisingly very affordable and very easy to implement. You can make a very big difference in your security posture, in your zero trust security posture, with a relatively small investment and a very quick return on that investment if you embrace something like Virtru. And that's the truth. The bottom line is we're not complicated, we're not expensive, and we do the little things that make a big difference in your zero trust security journey. We connect the value of Virtru to people, individual human beings that sit inside of their email clients all day, every day, and simply click a button to protect sensitive data as part of their everyday workflow. The data itself is what we're ultimately protecting at Virtru. It's all about the granular controls applied to the data. Just do the job that needs to be done, which is protect the data. Do it in a context of creating business value. Data is not going to add value to your business unless you're sharing it externally. The truth of the matter is data is the asset. It's the most important asset that every business has. In order to get the leverage and the value out of that data, you have to be in a position to share it. And then lastly is if you want to get all of the value from your data by having the confidence and the freedom to share it externally with business partners, you need to make sure that you have the ability to control it. You need to be able to do business and share information without sacrificing security or privacy or control over the data. And again, that's what we do at Virtru. So again, super simple, super easy to implement, super affordable, makes a big difference in a world that's otherwise very complicated and very expensive.